My friend Sarah told me a story that still haunts me. She was hiking alone in Blackwood Forest, a place locals avoid after dark. The sun was sinking fast, painting the sky blood red. The air grew colder with every step she took. Sarah felt a chill, like the forest was watching her. She gripped her flashlight tighter, her heart starting to race. Then she saw it, an old cabin half hidden by twisted trees. The cabin looked abandoned, but something felt wrong, like it was waiting for her. Sarah hesitated. She told me her curiosity won out. She couldn't turn back now, even though her gut screamed to run. The air grew heavy as she neared the cabin. It was like the forest held its breath around her. The cabin's door creaked ajar, swaying slightly. There was no wind, but it moved anyway. She heard a faint hum, like a whisper, coming from inside. Her pulse quickened. Sarah thought it might be an old radio or a trick of her mind, but the hum felt alive. The creak echoing. The air inside was cold, her breath fogging. The cabin smelled of decay, like something had died long ago. Dust choked the air. Her flashlight swept the walls, landing on old portraits. Their faces stared right at her. The eyes in the portraits were too real, too vivid. Sarah's skin prickled with unease. She laughed nervously, thinking they were just creepy art, but the feeling wouldn't shake. She noticed the frames were dusty, but the eyes were clean, like someone tended them. Sarah stepped closer to one portrait, a gaunt man with hollow cheeks. Her heart pounded. She swore the man's eyes moved, following her. Her breath caught in her throat. She reached out, brushing the frame. Her fingers trembled as she felt cold glass. Then she froze. The portrait wasn't a painting, it was a window. A face stared back. The face was pale, its eyes locked on hers, unblinking. Sarah's heart stopped. She stumbled back, her flashlight shaking. More portraits were windows too. The faces were all watching her, silent and still. The cabin felt alive with malice. Sarah's flashlight flickered, casting wild shadows. The air grew colder, heavier. A low growl rumbled outside, shaking the cabin. Sarah's blood ran cold. The growl grew louder, circling the cabin. It wasn't an animal, it was something else. Sarah backed toward the door, her hands shaking. The faces pressed closer to the glass. Their breath fogged the windows, creating eerie patterns. Sarah felt trapped. Her flashlight died, plunging the cabin into darkness. She fumbled for the door. The growls were closer now, right outside. Sarah's heart pounded in her ears. She heard scratching, like claws on the walls. The cabin felt like a cage. Sarah whispered a prayer, her voice trembling. The air felt thick with evil. The faces whispered her name, their voices overlapping, cold and hollow. She reached the door, but it wouldn't budge. The cabin seemed to hold her. The walls creaked like the cabin was alive. emerged. She slammed her shoulder against the door, desperate to escape. It finally gave way. She stumbled into the forest, the cold air biting her skin. The growls followed. Branches clawed at her face as she ran, her flashlight useless in the dark. The growls were closer, echoing through the trees. She tripped on a root sprawling in the dirt. The eyes were everywhere now. Sarah scrambled up, her legs shaking. The forest felt alive, closing in. She ran blindly, her breath ragged. The cabin's glow faded behind her. The growls grew fainter, but the eyes never left. They were in the shadows. Sarah's lungs burned, but she kept running. She had to reach her car. She saw her car through the trees, its headlights a dim glow. Hope surged, but the growls returned, closer now. Something was still out there. She fumbled for her keys, her hands shaking. The eyes were so close. She got the door open, diving inside. The growls were right outside. She started the engine, tires screeching as she sped away. The forest blurred. Sarah made it home, but she wasn't alone. Something followed her. She locked her doors, her heart still racing. The house felt wrong. She checked every window, convinced something was watching her. A faint scratch sounded at her door. Her blood ran cold again. She stayed up all night, too scared to sleep. The eyes were still out there. Sarah swears she sees those faces in every shadow now, even in her dreams. She never went back to Blackwood Forest. She told me to stay away. Sarah checks her windows every night, convinced they're still out there. She says the cabin wasn't just a place, it was alive, and it wanted her. Sarah begs me never to go near that forest. She's still not free. Would you dare step foot in that cabin? I wouldn't. Sleep tight. If you can.